my job, no matter the audience or no matter whether it was to entertain or teach, was all about offering people a safe space to be themselves, to drop the mask that they're wearing to survive and have a genuine laugh next to a total stranger. Like that level of safety.
Welcome to Limitless Minds, the podcast where curiosity meets greatness. If you're ready to discover what it takes to be truly limitless and push beyond your own limits, you're in the right place.
Team, welcome back to the Limitless Minds Podcast. Success leaves clues. Travis and I just like setting up shop. We just completely took over this thing. We're gonna dive right in. We both have a couple of really cool new nuggets, and then we have an amazing guest today. Travis, how you doing? First of all, how are things? We're good to go.
I'm doing well, Josh. Like, we're into the autumn season, depending on when people are listening to this, but we're in a little autumn orange today, but doing well. Having to stay neutral a little bit. I've been having some back pain, and so with all the travel and just life, having to get neutral with some of that discomfort. But that's not my nooch nugget for today.
Oh, I was really okay. Cool.
No, my nooch nugget today for all of you all know here on the Limitless Minds that Josh and I, the Success Leaves Clues podcast, we like to start every session off with a nooch nugget. Nooch nugget being neutral thinking. What's a practical way that we have been able to demonstrate and access neutral thinking very recently? For me, Josh, I was at my son's. It was his last regular season high school soccer game. Starts districts now, and so they always end their season at kind of one of the rival schools. So we're at the game. My wife and I are at the game, and we're, it's like the parents. You're kind of like you're mingled. You're mixed in with the parents of the opposing team. There's kind of sides, but you're kind of mixed in.
Is it stands, or are we talking like long chairs
hill,
on the side?
Hill. Small bleachers, but mainly people on the hill. And so you're among one another. The school that my son goes to, we kind of pride ourselves on, sportsmanship and character. This is another private school that we are playing. They don't. And so their student section, very spirited, but very inappropriately obnoxious, which is like, okay. But then the parents, you're like, oh, that's why they're that way, right? Because you're listening to the parents, you're seeing, there's just a vibe. It was a very obnoxious, very difficult vibe. And so here's the hard part, Josh. My son's team is getting his butt kicked, right? So you've got that on top of the comments and all of that. And so I'm there watching my emotions rise, watching my feelings rise, watching my judgment rise, watching my loathing rise, and just being in my own emotional soup and wanting to like say something or wanting to do something, just noticing it. And thankfully, just, all right, man, stay neutral, right? Have the emotions, but don't be the emotions, right? Have the anger, but don't express the anger. And constantly going to, okay, grace, have a little bit of grace, have a little bit of humility, take the person out of the context, right? Having all the different things that I can do. But it was tough. And I'm sure I wanted to share that one, Jeff, because I'm sure it's a lot of people listening here listen to our podcast who, we're all going to have to deal with other sports parents at one time or another. And it's one of the more difficult things to do is to have that patience, have that grace, and stay neutral.
Was there anything that you were doing to get yourself neutral? It's one thing to say stay neutral, but was there anything you were like literally doing? Like, were you like squeezing your fist and releasing it? Were you taking deep breaths? Like, what were you doing?
Actually, I'm just doing it right now. Yeah. Deep breaths is still my go-to, right? It's big inhales, big exhales, just slow inhales, slow exhales. And we know how that just physiologically that helps regulate us and calm us down. Funny enough, when I was in with the chiropractor the other day, and he was having me do big breaths as he was checking different parts of my body, and he gave me big props for my breathing. I was like, "Ooh, awesome! Thank you." Yeah,
look at you. You're a professional breather, bro.
Professional breather. Yes. So that's my nooch nugget, Josh. So
are you dipping that in like just straight hot sauce? What are we dipping in that?
Yeah. Hot sauce, extra vinegar.
Yeah, I was gonna say vinegar. Yeah.
Very. It's bitter. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's it's funny. It's like I feel that so much because it's our kids. And I think as any sport parent can relate, like you just want your kid to be successful. You want them to take the best out of sports. But sometimes the worst can teach them the best, right? And so that's the other part of it too, is that like sometimes you have to know what is not cool for you to recognize the way you want to be, right? Okay, here's this obnoxiousness. I don't want to be like that. Okay, cool. We've learned that, right? So sometimes you have to have that exposure. Mine is also about my son. It's this is turning into like, Bill Simmons parent corner, right, with cousin Sal. But it's
better. This is better.
Okay. The nooch nugget that I have is from my 14-year-old son, who is a undersized basketball player. He loves basketball, loves it a ton. The past 2 years, he was at a middle school that didn't have many sports, but they did have basketball. And he tried out both years for the team and did not make it, got cut. So this summer, he buckled down. He said, he's going to high school now. He's going to it's a 7A high school here in Florida. So it's a big school.
Yeah.
It's the biggest school in our county. So you can imagine the amount of kids that are going to try out for the basketball team. But what he did is he dedicated this summer to getting better at basketball. And for the entire summer, I think there's 8 weeks in the summer, he only missed 1 week of training, like legitimate training. He went to every camp he could go to. He went to the Maccabi games and he played at the Maccabi games. And he just was like after it. When he came back, we are lucky enough to live in the same town as IMG Academy, which you know. And as a result, a lot of what happens around here is we get really lucky with our sports because coaches leave IMG and they start their own thing. One of the great coaches that was there is a guy named John Mahoney, who I love and worked with closely at IMG, and he runs an academy called 212. Do you know what the significance of 212 is? It's not New York City area code.
No,
come on, you know this.
What is the 212? That's clearly a defensive.
Yeah, it would be good, but it's the temperature that water boils at.
Oh,
right.
Love that analogy.
So
not
the
211.
thing is, be the steam.
Not
be the steam.
211.
Give a shout outs to 212 Academy.
212.
It's an amazing place. They have kids from all over the world there, and I have been helping out by doing some mental training with the team. And Micah has worked out at their camps and been there. So John this year was like, is Micah going to train with us every day? Can he do that? And last year he couldn't because he would get home at 5:00 and their training ends at 6. This year he gets out of school at 2:15. So he goes immediately over there and he trains for about 3 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Awesome.
So he's dedicated himself to this endeavor of making the high school basketball team. Now, he goes over and he tries out this year, this Riverview High School here in Sarasota, Florida, and he tries out for both. He goes to the both tryouts. Now, they have varsity, they have JV, and they have this freshman team called the Futures team. And there's 80 kids trying out for 12 spots, 13 spots. He goes through the first tryout, did well, Dad. I know I did well. I made some shots. I was playing some decent defense. Okay. Goes to the second night. Second night he goes and I pick him up afterwards. I'm like, how did it go? And you could tell he's a little bit, he's like, well, I was really aggressive. He's undersized. He hasn't hit puberty yet. Right. So he's undersized. So, he's got to stand out in other ways. And he's like, I did everything. I dove for loose balls. I played incredible defense. I grabbed a bunch of rebounds. I was talking to everybody. I was pounding out. I was cheering for everybody. I was like one of the only people cheering. And and when we did the running, I was always one of the first people done. I just gave everything, Dad. But then at the end of the tryout, for the last 10 minutes of the tryout, they did 5v5, on half court, and they had 2 separate courts where they're doing 5v5, and they didn't pick me to go. So I'm pretty sure I didn't make it, but you know what? I gave my all. I know I acted like a winner. If they don't want winners on this team, that's fine. I won't be on the team. It was so funny. You got all offensive.
Yeah.
It was really sweet. I told him the story, the watch story. I don't know if you've ever seen that on Facebook, the watch story where if the dad gives an antique watch to the kid and they got to go to the pawn shop, they go to the watch store and they go to the museum. They find the worth.
Find the right worth.
So I tell him that story. He likes that. He's like, okay, cool. And then the next day they're going to post like old school piece of paper in the freaking, in the cabinet outside the gym. Here's the people that made it.
Yeah.
And I get the photograph and I get the phone call that I made the team.
Ooh.
And so the whole thing, though, talk about nooch nuggets and talk about going to neutral, is about the stories we make up in our heads.
Yeah.
Basically, Travis, the reason they didn't play him in the 5v5 is because they had already picked him.
Yeah.
They were like, this kid's in.
He already made it.
It's done.
We don't need to see this kid.
We don't need to continue to. And we had said that. And then he was like, no, it's not like that. You don't understand. There was good kids in it too. But there was kids I know I was better than. I can't believe they're going to get picked. It was awesome because it was like him not staying neutral and us trying to be like, hey, it's okay. You know, like we don't know what it means. YNK, you never know.
Yeah.
And, you know, here's what's the story you're creating in your mind. And not only that, he had a plan. He was just going to continue to work out with John.
Yeah,
and,
I love
and
that.
maybe play on his JV team if that was going to be allowed. And, you know, like, so there was other options, but he just was head down and he made the team. And it was a really awesome moment for him. The thing that I was super happy about as a parent is hard work. He worked his butt off. He worked his butt off and it paid off.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome to see that work out because we know sometimes you work your butt off and it doesn't pay off.
Yeah. And it sounds like right. And it sounds like he would have done that regardless, right? If he didn't make the team, he would have gone back to work, right? He gets
100%.
He gets the result he wanted this time, which is great, but it's also like the good or bad, who knows? If he didn't get the result that he wanted, what's he do? Well, I go back to work, right? I got the result that I wanted. Awesome. I go back to work. I didn't get the result I wanted. That stinks, but I go back to work.
Yeah. That's the way exactly was his mind. I mean, outside of being pissy, being like, well, they don't want a winner. Well, whatever.
You know, that's that fire, right?
I like
that.
I like that though, competitive fire. So that's I don't know what I'm dipping that in. I mean, like I feel like I should just dip it in ice cream or something like that.
Ooh,
but something like that. But that's like kind of gross to have a chicken nugget dipped in ice cream. So I'm gonna say,
or if you take like French fries and Frosties, you know.
I might just go. You know what I'm doing? McDonald's special sauce. That's what I'm dipping that in.
There you go.
Because we love McDonald's. They want to be a sponsor too.
Yeah.
They want to be a sponsor.
We're loving it. We're loving it.
Speaking of loving it,
Josh,
who do we get to love on today in this podcast?
You know that I love that was a great transition. It was so smooth. I didn't even acknowledge it. We love having guests on the show that can bring the serious and bring the comedy. And so today's guest is no different. I know Jeff. It's great. I've known Jeff for a little while now, and we don't talk a ton about work, but I know he does amazing work. He's been a professional performer. Like he started performing at 4. He was classically trained in New York and LA, and he's a performance artist. He does crazy performance, and then he transitioned into executive coaching. So I always love hearing Josh, like the people that do that transition, performers, and what the next chapter looks like. And Jeff, I think, is going to be, this might go off the rails a little bit, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun in the process. His name is Jeff Koziatek, not Koziatek, Jeff Koziatek. And I'm sure I won't butcher that at all. Jeff is again.
I'm definitely not going to butcher that. No,
he's got thousands of shows under his belt. He's been a keynote speaker. He's worked with Fortune 500 companies. He works with top leaders. He's the founder of Core Authenticity. He's an entrepreneur. He has 2 books, not one, but 2 books in the Blueprint for Values series. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. For those of you who are just listening, I'm holding up 3 juggling balls. You'll find out why. Welcome to the Limitless Minds Podcast.
I highly recommend, by the way, that we watch this one if you're going to do juggling. I think that people can find us on YouTube. You should definitely
watch the videos on this one.
I think you're probably going to juggle later.
Speaking of juggling, let's bring him in. Jeff Koziatek. Welcome to the Limitless Minds Podcast. Success leaves clues. You people have no idea what you have missed already. Welcome to the podcast, Jeff Koziatek.
Yes, that's me.
There you go. All right, Josh, before we jump in and we tend to ask professional questions, here's our starting point.
Do you?
Jeff, I'm going to let Josh decide what you answer first. Josh, do you want to hear Jeff talk about juggling on a water buffalo? That's option A. Or running a half marathon while juggling. Josh, what do you want to hear?
Because we are Limitless Minds, and because we often talk about bisons / water buffaloes, running into the storm.
Into the storm so they could get out the other side.
Quickly. I want to hear, and I know a guy who runs marathons juggling. So that's for me, it's like,
wow.
It's kind of interesting. However, ... I mean, I think myself and all of the listeners that we have want to hear about the water buffalo.
Let's hear it.
Situation.
It's so exciting. So excited. There I was, cover for a music album. And they just had all these people there. And then there was a water buffalo named Tonka. And they're like, hey, can you sit on the water buffalo and juggle for the shot? And I said, yes, as long as we do it bareback. And they're like, is there any other way?
Wow. Yeah. This is where Anna going to, or Mari's going to put the picture in of that.
Oh, God.
Hey, wait, I have a question for you though, Jeff.
No.
Where exactly is this taking place? So we got to paint
downtown St. Louis, Missouri, in the city.
So was the arch in the background?
Was Tonka alive or
Tonka was alive at the beginning, during, and at the end.
Wait, or was it at the amazing St. Louis Zoo?
No, it was downtown on the streets of St. Louis, Missouri.
That's
years ago, back when I had hair.
What?
If we're actually doing the photo, you'll see the hair.
Well, I do need to know. I mean, like, you just threw out like album. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what? Why the heck were you there juggling on top of a buffalo? I mean, give us the context, Jeff.
No, you got to look it up. Like, if we give it all here, we can't spill the tea.
Most people are listening to podcasts while they're driving.
Podcast.
They're driving.
So we don't have to look it up.
They're
driving as well. We don't want to cause accidents where they have to pull out their phone and look up Koziatek.
No. All right.
So
and it's spelled Kozia. It's spelled Kozia. Go ahead.
Koziatek, is that
Jeff,
is it near
St. Louis?
Is it near Russia? Was it part of Russia?
Technically, if we were in Poland, you would say Koziatek, but we're not there. So you could say whatever you want. It's definitely a yes and field here in America.
Was the water buffalo brought in by animal handlers, or was it just roaming the streets randomly?
It was roaming. They're like, we're doing the shot. It's promoting. I think it was Pink Eyed the Gecko was the group name.
This is just getting weirder.
They had the door, like everybody is coming in to watch them. Like that was the setup for the album cover. And so you had all these crazy people in line. I'm dressed up like a really bizarre clown. I don't do clowning, but for that. And then
were you hired just to be a part of this photo shoot? Were you part of the band? Like how did you end up there from your wonderful abode?
Well, I live here, so they're just like, let's get some locals. I used to do.
Were they like door-to-door salesmen knocking on your door? Like,
yeah, well, I'm an actor. I act. I emote, and so they're like, hey, you're an actor and you juggle. We should put you in here. Have you ever been on the back of a water buffalo juggling? I'm like, no, but we should do it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a yes and motto. So there I was, and we did the shot. It was really not that exciting, but hopefully this will be very exciting for you.
So that's a clear step to you being an executive coach. Go.
Yeah. Well, executive coaches are a lot like water buffaloes. There's a lot of power, and they get going and there's direction. But if they don't know which direction to go, they could end up in the storm a whole lot longer than they need to be. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I got you. I have experience with water buffaloes. I can help.
I feel like, though, you weren't really staring at water buffalo. You just like sit on it, juggling.
Well, technically, there was a handler, but we don't have to talk about that.
The mirage is becoming so clear the more that we speak.
Yes.
So just for the audience's understanding, I feel like, and I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like Travis and Jeff kind of go way back. Oh. Do you guys have performed together, improv together, that kind of a thing? Is this accurate?
We've had coffee.
We've had coffee together for a year, Josh.
Interesting.
That's not even a whole 365 days of that year. It's been sporadic.
Yeah. And I think I would really like to dig in. I'm going to share a story that I feel that really encapsulates Jeff as a person, as a human. And then I think it's going to take us to a deep spot. So Some of you may know that my father passed away about a month and a half ago. Jeff and I and a couple other guys get together. We try to do a monthly coffee just to sit.
We don't try, Travis. We do.
There is no try.
Let's not get sidebarred whether I can
either
make it or not.
do or not do.
So this was
mindset.
This was the first coffee after my father passed, and Jeff was being a great friend, and he was checking in, seeing how I was doing. He's actually like, "Hey, I'm going to be at a festival this weekend. I'm going to be on stilts, right? I'm going to be performing on stilts. See if you can make it." And I was like, "Shoot, I can't make it." I was like, "But I would really like you to show up to that coffee date on stilts." And he's like, "Sorry, not doing it." And I threw back at him, "It's what my dad would have really wanted."
Like a good friend. Like a good friend.
Like a good friend. And guess who showed up at our coffee date? Ducking under the door, almost getting decapitated by the ceiling fan in the coffee shop.
Ceiling fans were low.
But
It was you,
my
Travis.
friend.
It was you.
No, it was
no.
Jeff. It was Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah, my friend Jeff on stilts. Yeah, showing up.
You were just trying to show him up.
Showing
That's
up. for a
amazing.
friend.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
How did
So
you once you ordered the coffee, did you
He just left. He just left. Never said.
Sitting is like kind of interesting in stilts.
My job is done. I'm out. Hold my coffee.
Like you just keep tripping over your stilts as you're like crossing your legs. Oh, sorry about that.
Smoke. Yes.
Didn't mean to smash all your tea off the table.
Yeah.
So wait a second. I'm going to get this thing back on the rails because we're all.
It's never been on the rails. Let's just get it on some rails.
Yeah, let's get it on a rail.
Are there rails?
Yeah. So what we know about Jeff is obviously an incredible executive coach, but also obviously an actor, improv artist, clown, stilt walker.
No, not a clown.
Not a clown. Take that out your mouth.
He's not a clown, but he's played a clown in the past.
Yes.
On buffaloes.
Pretending.
Yeah, right. So here's the deal. So how does, because this is the curiosity, right? For I think our listeners too. Here you are, and you obviously have a good career acting and things of that nature. Hey, what makes you decide to go, hey, like I can help people. I can help executives. I can help, companies, cultures, leaders, etc. What created that jump from the arts to this like quote unquote professional world, right? And I'm using big time air quotes on that. So like, what was the jump, and then how did you go about making that transition?
Yeah, it's more like a petting zoo because the water buffaloes, and I'm leading the water buffaloes. All right, so that's layered, right? Like a parfait, not like an onion, like a parfait. These are good quality layers. Layer number one, in addition to the live performing stuff, I also own my own entertainment company. I had a booking agency. It also worked as an event management company. We produced videos and commercials and radio spots, and we managed national touring acts that went all over the country. So I was managing employees and a bunch of 1099s. We were doing hybrid work before the dark times, before the pandemic. And so being a CEO and business owner, I've walked that walk, and meeting that many different people from all these different walks of life, I started to see a through line that knew no discrimination. Everybody was wrestling with the same two fundamental core issues. What is my worth, and where does it come from? I use the word worth. Some people use the word significance or identity. Mm-hmm. And how we answer that question impacts everything else, especially as leaders. And so you've got that realization, you've got the experience being a business owner and managing employees and independent contractors. And then you've got me burning myself out. Because at the time, I'm doing 350 shows, and I'm producing 12 video shoots a year, and I'm doing photo shoots, and I'm working to be a good husband and a good parent. And there's taking care of me and the dogs and the cats and the house and all that stuff. And I'm burning out. I got shingles in my 20s because of stress. And then we got to a spot where I was cyclically considering my life insurance policy as a better way to take care of my family, because I felt like I could not do enough. And so all of this stuff going on, recognizing that other people are dealing with this, I'm dealing with this, and I wanted to help, but I did not want to continue to burn myself out. There's only a finite amount of time, and I really care about my family. And so And I don't think the life insurance is a sustainable option.
Yeah.
So it was like, how do we make this shift? How do we help people in a sustainable way? It's like, well, let's help the leaders so that the leaders can then help the people that they're serving. So we really maximize the impact and influence. So that's kind of a short.
So yeah, you kind of threw this in there, like you said, you're doing shows. Well, I mean, what does that look like? What's that mean?
Comedy, juggling shows, stilt walking, fire
Yeah.
performing, game
Got
show
it.
hosting, stage MC
1-year-olds
stuff.
love that. 1-year-olds love that stuff. That makes total sense.
You know,
Makes total sense. No,
I'm glad
I know. I don't.
no, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're a children's entertainer." Like, well, no, we also do stuff for corporations. It's all about laughter, and I think this is a really key point. My job, no matter the audience or no matter whether it was to entertain or teach, was all about offering people a safe space to be themselves, to drop the mask that they're wearing to survive and have a genuine laugh next to a total stranger, like that level of safety. And it was fascinating, Josh, because I'd see people come in and they take layer after layer off, and then I'd get to meet them, not who they pretended to be when they walked in the door, but who they are. And then after the show, you watch people layer back up. And I thought, man, I've spent so much of my life behind a mask, pretending, pushing, thinking that I was my performance and that's what made me me, and that's what made me valuable to other people. And I know where that goes. I know the exhaustion. I know the burnout. I know the imposter syndrome. I know the difficulty to handle transitions that come from living behind a mask all the time. Like, let's help people drop that and experience more of their core authentic self. And I do that with kids, and I also do that with adults. But most of the time, adults in my past looked at that and they're like, yeah, that's for kids. That's not for us, because here everything is different.
Yeah. I love that. It's funny. I know you probably didn't start off the path as an entertainer thinking like, this is the path to being an executive coach. Here we go. And so you see that evolution, the evolution that happens along the way. And I think,
can I speak to that?
Please.
So as a kid, I got two messages. One was intentional and one was not. The intentional message was find something you love to do and make that your job. My parents said that. They're like, you want to be an actor? Go be an actor. Everybody else is like, what's wrong with you? You should tell Jeff to get a real job, like go into mining or something, right? And so I love art and people. Anything art and people, I'm in. The other message that was unintentional, nobody ever actually said it, was you are what you do. Your performance defines who you are. If I was just showing up being me, it seemed like people didn't really want to hang out. But if I was doing something on stage or performing or doing something in sports or in school or creating a piece of art, then it seemed like I had your attention. So I put those two together and became this massive workaholic. And I thought, okay, I in and of myself am not enough. I need to do something that you will appreciate, you like, and then I'll be enough, right? And so when I grew up thinking, I love art, I love to ask questions, I'm aware of my feelings, and I know what you're feeling. Like, I'm picking up on all of this other stuff. I'm naturally curious. And then I'm looking around and all these examples of men that are like, don't ask questions, just go, just push through. You see
Take that
wall?
anger and bury it.
Bury it. If you see a wall with a door, just run through the wall. Doors are for other people.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, maybe there's something wrong with me. I need to become something that I'm not. And then years later, I discovered coaching. This was in 2012. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's a career out there for people that are naturally curious.
How did you discover that? How did you discover that?
In 2012, I was doing a radio interview promoting an upcoming event. I was talking with the host about focus. I was like, man, the last 4 years of my life, trying to focus. I've got my video production company, photography, and performing all maxed out. I can't grow them anymore because of time, but I need to. And everybody says, find focus. I'm like, how do you focus? When I was told to find something you love to do and make that your job, and you are what you do, I am my performance. If I stop doing any of this, it's like cutting off an arm. I don't know how to focus. And he's like, I can help you in an hour. I was like, no, you can't. 4 years. And he goes, okay, fine. How about 2 hours? I'm like, that makes more sense. Okay. And we got together in 2 hours. We started talking with the coach and changed everything. He did exactly what he said he would do. A couple of years after coaching with him, I asked him to certify me, and now I coach other people. And that was the crossover. But experiencing him and the coaching process and the value of being aware of my emotions and the emotions around me, being able to ask questions, being able to stay in there without judgment and just offer that safe space that I used to offer on stage to hundreds and thousands of people. Now I offer to one-to-one, and we can get deep and make some fundamental root changes that lead to sustainable, lasting results out here. And it's been awesome. But it feels like a better fit. You know what I mean?
So what happened in those 2 hours that changed everything for you? What, I mean, like, was there an aha moment? Was there like specific tool, practical, like what?
Well, I think I have some availability in my calendar next week. You want to book a session?
So this is where we share so people get interested.
Well, Josh, my guess is that you guys sat down and he said, so Jeff, sounds like you're juggling a lot in your life.
Who let him back in the pod?
Who? Travis, where did that come from?
Guys, I've got another appointment I need to get to. I just needed to get that in.
Oh,
hey, by the way, just so you know, I don't know if this happened to you, Travis, but as soon as you said, people said I should get a real job like mining, and all I could think about was Jeff walking into like a mine on stilts and like just kind of hitting his head the whole time and just trying to like duck under. This is not working. I don't think this is gonna work, guys.
I'm not made for this.
I can't hold a pick and jug. Okay, yeah.
It's just like it just kept hitting his head on the roof.
Yes.
The answer to your...
This is what you've done to us, Jeff. This is what you've done to us.
I hold it, pause, and go back on track. Go.
Worth. He introduced me to the concept of intrinsic worth. Yeah. He was the one that fundamentally planted the seed for me that I am the performer, not my performance. And that was the beginning of everything, because I kept showing up thinking I am my performance. When I show up on stage, the audience heckling or cheering, it's all about what I look like. It's what I sound like. It's what I'm doing. I thought it was me. I thought all of the feedback was all about me. It's very personal. I'm the one on stage. I'm not making a product and selling that. It's me. And so everything was very, very personal. And if I'm not out there doing stuff, things are falling apart. He's like, no. Like what you do comes from you, but it doesn't define you. Like those are two separate things.
Yeah.
And so to be able to stand as a performer, not my performance, then I'm able to receive feedback on the performance and be like, okay, well, is this feedback worth taking? Like, do I need, is there something in there I can use, or is it mostly just about you and not really about my performance, and move forward? And I can start to say, not yes.
Yeah.
Because before it was always like, I had to say yes to anything that came in, which then cost me issues and cost me my relationships. Thankfully, my wife and I, we just celebrated our 20th anniversary in August.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you. Very excited.
Yes. Did you guys go anywhere? You just
No, we just
go.
It's 20 years. Like
20 is not a big one. 20 is not a big one. It's just like when it's 20.
Yeah, it's we just do stuff.
Talk to me at 21. That's what I say. Talk to me at 21.
Well, that's amazing too, because here you were and you had these two fundamental quote unquote truths in your mind that, hey, you should do what you love and make that your job. But then what was the second part of that?
You are what you do.
You are what you are do. So that second truth got a bunch of freaking Wile E. Coyote dynamite put all around it and blasted.
So Jeff, when you hear that, the shift, a lot of people will resist that idea. A lot of people say, we've all experienced it, I'm sure, in our coaching. No, I am what I do. Yeah. And there is no option. It's probably not a long-term coaching client at that point, but and so a lot of people, or just the fear, the fear of resisting that idea when you're kind of shook with that Wile E. Coyote dynamite that Josh is talking about, what is the intrinsic motivation then that comes to the surface for you?
Can you talk more about that?
Yeah. So if it's not about you're the performer, not the performance, you've been living your whole life. The next one, I am only as great as the next accomplishment.
Yeah.
So if it's not that, that's the extrinsic motivation,
Yeah.
right? A bigger trophy, a bigger paycheck, a bigger this.
100%.
So you had to sit in that uncertainty. You had to sit in who am I if I'm not the performance?
Yeah.
And that who that you are that showed up, who came to the door for the first time.
Who?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who let the dogs?
Who let the dogs in? Someone, you know what? Someone let them out. Who's going to let them in? Someone let the dogs back in.
It's hard because all those dogs, man, like in the United States of America, in the culture that I grew up in, it was you are what you do. And you hear all kinds of messages and books that say you are what you do. Your actions define you. And I say no, sir. That is incorrect. Increíble. That's an SNL throwback. I saw you all doing SNL throwbacks before.
I've never heard it. SNL. Was that a show?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, like you get this message all over the place, and when you're swimming in that, it's very difficult to make the shift from a performance identity to a performer identity. And I'm not saying performer like show. I'm just the performer is the one that creates this stuff, right? And so it was difficult, and I kept hearing these messages over here. And so one of the things we had to install early was repetition. Like it wasn't a switch to flip and forget about. It takes consistency. It takes intentionality. It takes repetition. And so it was something that I would repeat daily. It was a constant reminder. And at the end of the day, you can be successful. I differentiate them as a challenger mindset is all performance driven. Champion mindset is performer driven. You can be successful as a challenger with a challenger mindset. I think it's all about performance. It's what did you do yesterday? What am I going to do today? I have to be the best. I have to be the best at all costs. You can be successful at that. It's just in my experience, I have seen significant cost associated with that level of success. And I don't want to pay that cost anymore. There are some benefits over here to show up as a champion mindset. And so when executives hire me to help them shift their performance, we make tweaks on the performer end so that their operating system changes on a fundamental, sustainable level, which then impacts and levels up all of their performance out here.
When you are working with someone, I know because we have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business leaders that listen to this podcast. We all know that leadership, leading the lady can be
lonely. Said a lot. That was kind of funny.
Lonely and isolating. Hey, you need to stop self-deprecating our dozens of followers. So listen, come on, I was going for a spit take there. Close.
Good. Solid.
Close.
Solid.
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Solid.
I can handle it, Travis. I'm a juggler. I can drink and
so close. So Jeff, you as a fellow performer, vulnerability is so huge.
Yeah.
And again, working with athletes as well, Josh, and being in that space, there's so much vulnerability in the performer. There's so much vulnerability. I've seen it in the business world. Sometimes harder to tap into that vulnerability when you are with a leader, Jeff. What are your tips? What are your, because we as leaders are listening and they're needing to coach the people they work with. What's a way that you really kind of try to build that safe space, that vulnerability when you're working with someone?
2 ways. We use worth and trust. So the way that I offer safety, and it's just an offer. I cannot make anybody feel safe. It's just an offer. I could put it out. And so what I do, what I learned on stage, because I'm talking to hundreds or thousands of people at one time, I don't have their Enneagram number.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
I don't have their disc profile.
The 7. I'm also a high I.
Oh, and your Myers-Briggs and your predictive index.
You can't remember. I could just make it up though.
What about your Hogwarts house?
My Hogwarts, I am Hufflepuff.
Nice. So I don't get the chance.
I am Boston
to have this
Celtics. Is that
It is.
a house?
Oh, my son would love you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bruins. Are you a Bruins fan?
Not really a hockey fan. I love hockey. I
Oh,
appreciate it. But I just don't
Josh.
follow it. I appreciate it.
Come
It's like the
on.
best live sport ever. It
Yes.
really is the best live sport ever.
Okay.
Yes. Let's cut that. Mari, make sure you remove that from the podcast. We don't
I
want
don't. I mean,
Josh
We were doing so
trashing
well.
professional hockey.
I mean,
Jeff, carry on.
I'm not trashing it. I just don't
Josh is-
follow it. I never
Josh
said
is
anything
pulling us
bad
down.
about it.
If you were juggling, Jeff would be the Josh would be the ball.
I
that
am-
we just
I
throw.
am- I am not
juggling,
an
Jeff.
opinion. I am
He's
not my
Josh.
opinions. I'm not my opinions.
You are the opinion.
I am the opinion.
Where were we?
Jeff, you were trying to help business leaders with vulnerability, and all Josh was doing was derailing us. Continue.
That's right. And we worked so hard to build those rails, Josh.
Yep.
We worked hard. I mean, Travis over there sweating. He had to take his
Hey, you know
hat
what?
off.
You know what?
Instead
Can
of
I
the
do
third
this?
rail. I love the third rail.
Josh,
I love it.
hockey,
Sparks the
hockey reference.
conversation.
2-minute penalty. 2-minute penalty for high sticking.
Hooking.
Yes.
Steve Hook.
Yes. Hooking the interview.
Okay, so safety, vulnerability. Vulnerability comes when you
Putting
feel
myself on
safe.
mute.
For 2 minutes.
We've got a man advantage. Let's run with this.
Go.
Man.
Go.
Worth and trust, really. Like, we got to make it simple. I didn't have a chance to figure all that stuff out before I needed to talk to people, and the whole point in there was communication. I define communication as the sharing of ideas and understanding. If you're going to do that, you have to first achieve safety. Otherwise, we're up here. When you're talking to a high-level exec or a business owner like ourselves or like your audience, when you're coming out of a culture that says you are what you do, there's this tendency to show up like this, like I'm proving myself to you, and if you say anything about it, we're going to go at it. I'm going to justify my worth to give it some identity through stuff out here. And it might be my performance, my property, my appearance, my circumstances, or the relationships that I've got. It's usually one of those 5. And so we come out here like this. And so if I can, as a coach, offer safety so that they feel safe, so they don't have to prove themselves. There's nothing to earn. They don't have to justify. They don't have to position them as a human being. And I show myself to be trustworthy. The worth piece really comes into looking past the behavior and really calling out the values and stuff that I see expressed in them as an individual. That's a really fast way of doing that. And instead of diving deep into, well, tell me what you do and tell me about your job and tell me about the latest acquisition that you've made or how did that merger go?
Yeah.
Or, instead of driving the questions about performance, property, character, circumstance, or relationship, I dive into the questions about the human being behind all of that. And that's something that a lot of people don't get. And I think that shifts just enough. It changes the and then we can have the conversation.
In improvisation, we would call that the interruption.
I'm sorry, what?
We're going to interrupt the routine.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me. Exactly. So we interrupt the routine, catch them off guard. Do you have a go-to question that you like that really kind of maybe surprises them or really just kind of gets straight to the humanity?
I know that would make things super easy and great for your audience, but no, I don't. And I don't because it's about.
This is a waste of time.
Man, we could talk about that. People love to grab onto things that are tangible and easy to understand, and we would rather grab those than deal with the nebulous reality that we actually have. So I get the question, and at the same time, it's reading the room. It's knowing your audience. It's the same skills that I picked up on stage of figuring out who my audience is and taking the same show and presenting it, whether it's a 9-year-old girl's birthday party or a corporate leadership retreat or a farm co-op. Like same stuff, but it presents different based on who's there. So I don't have a one size fits all question. It's showing up at the moment, listening to what I'm feeling from them, and then just following that. So it's definitely a yes and improv jazz kind of experience.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say as I come out of the box here,
2 minutes.
the whole key, for
Barely.
everything.
It's almost a 5-minute major, but we'll let them go.
Thank you. Don't make me cross check you. Here's the thing. What really jumps out about that is if I have a standardized question or a standardized questionnaire that I just go through with my clients, guess what I'm not being? What I'm not being is authentic. What I'm not being is present. What I'm not being is my own vulnerable self of maybe not having the right question to ask. Right. And so I think that kind of jumps out at me for that. And then the other thing that was like really, really, really clear here is we're dealing with human beings. You said it. We're not dealing with human doings.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big differentiator is the being versus the doing. And yeah, we're going to do a lot. It's really interesting. I talked to different leaders as well all the time, and how did you feel like you won today? Well, yeah, I accomplished this, and this, and this. And you go, oh, wait a second. Like, how are you being while you were accomplishing it? What? What are we talking about? So that's kind of the interesting thing. And to your point, like if all I'm focusing on what I'm doing, I'm forgetting who I'm being in those moments. And when you go about things the right way, when you are tapped into your values, right, you live a life fulfilled. You don't live a life survived, and that's the big key for me. That's what's jumping out.
Yeah. Well, and what you're talking about totally relates to what we used to do, what I used to do as an actor on stage. When you're learning your lines, you're not standing on stage waiting for the other person to finish their lines so that you can jump in with your stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
wrong.
Why didn't we talk? You should have called me. Call me. But I mean, if you're up in your head thinking all about what your line is and how you're going to deliver it, and you're not connecting with the actor across from you, and then the scene falls flat and the audience is not in because there's no connection. And when you're showing up and you're ready, you're just totally listening to listen, to learn, to understand, and connect with the other person, and then you deliver the line. It's very, very, very different. And I think that comes back to the worth piece we talked about earlier. We created the worthal. It's just a worth meter, 0 to 10, to measure your worth. 10 is full. It doesn't go to 11. It doesn't go to infinity.
Ours go to 11.
Higher limitless minds. Higher limitless minds.
But it's 10, 0 to 10. 10 is full and enough, and 0 is not. And if you're standing on intrinsic worth, being the worth coming from you, the performer, the person, then it's a 10 all the time and it never changes. If you don't think that you are enough, you don't think you have enough worth or significance, you think you have to go outside of yourself for identity, scarcity mindset, and you're looking to fill it out here. And so if you're saying, okay, I just need to do the right thing, tell me the questions to ask, that's performance based. That's saying that we're not enough for the moment. I need all of this stuff to make me a better leader or whatever.
No, but it goes back to Jeff. What you're talking about is just like checking the boxes. I think a lot of I think Travis, to be honest with you, in our field in the three of us field of coaching, and maybe I don't want to call our on stage presence a performance, but there's a performative element to it.
Absolutely.
I feel like in that speaking world, there's a lot of people in the speakers world that just check boxes. This is what you do to be a good speaker. Sure. This is how you have to come across. You have to, and I think some of them fake being really connected to the audience, and they fake really caring about the audience when all they really care about is looking good. And so it's just, I don't know. I've been around enough that you kind of feel it and you see it pretty quickly. But they do feel a lot of audiences, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
But you see that with coaches too. You see that with marketers. Like they're checking the box, really helping you move the thing forward.
Yeah, it's more of a transaction than it is a transformational experience. And I think that's right. What I get from you, Jeff, is that like every client is a new client. Yeah. And even if you've had that client for 2 years, every time you meet with them, it's a new client.
Well, yeah, and I would say that that's tied back to my performing background, right? So more than 5,000 shows, and I would say most of those were the same show. So how the heck do you repeat the same show thousands of times for different audiences, hundreds of times in a year, and still keep it fresh? It's not about the performance. It's all about the relationship and connecting with the people.
Yeah.
The people.
Well, it's great. I watched my wife and I watched the John Candy documentary. If you haven't had a chance to watch
I
it
have
yet,
not seen it yet.
I Like Me is the name of it. I think it's on Amazon. And so many people talked about how we talk about authenticity, how he played all of these crazy wild characters, but the one thing they said is, but John was in every one of those characters.
Mm.
Right? Like you could find the real John in every one of those characters. And then they also talk about just how present he was with everyone that he worked with, how he cared about everyone, the other actors he performed with, the stage crew, and how he went out of his way just to connect with people and be with people. And there's been, I think, 3 people ever that they've shut the 405 down in California when someone has passed. And John Candy was the 3rd in the history of that. During his passing, they shut down the 405 for his funeral procession, and it was someone who just lived with tremendous authenticity.
How do you do that?
Yeah. You mean the shutting down the 405?
Yeah.
Yeah, you call the cops or something there.
Well, I mean, like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Jeff, for you, we can look at so many obvious qualities from being a performer to becoming a coach and the transferable skills, if you will. What is something from your performance days? I know you still perform, but something from your helpful or relevant as a coach?
That's a good question, Travis.
I will give you one good question in an interview. And
no judgment. No judgments at all.
That was it.
The crowd pass. That was a really good.
I can juggle, Jeff, if you need some time.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'll go. I'll go. I with the audience when I was early in my career, a magician came up to me, good magician, great magician, tears in his eyes. He's watching my show and he says, Jeff, it's not about being the best juggler. It's not about being the best magician. It's not about being the best comedian or the best athlete. It's about showing up to give and receive with the audience. Like that's what it's all about. And in that moment, that kind of teed up what I would then dive deeper into with my coach. So starting to realize it's not about performing and impressing you. Watch as I do this amazing 5-ball juggling routine. It's like, no, we're going to build a relationship. I'm here to do something for you, but I'm also here to learn from you as well. And so picking that up on stage and then carrying that over into coaching has been, and then really going through cycles of my own business, as a performer, as a photographer, as a video producer, going through those different transitions and then sitting down with somebody who says, I am what I do. Like, well, your worth is more than just your performance. You're more than just your performance. Like, yeah, but this is like professional athlete clients of mine. I've been playing baseball for 40 years. I'm going to be 42 and almost dead. What am I going to do for the last half of my life? And if they're looking for their worth and significance in their career, on the front office or broadcasting or training, whatever, it's a trap. It's a trap, right? Like, right?
Good.
Yeah, thank you, Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Good.
But I mean, they're stuck, and so to help them see, hey, I started here, and then I moved to here, and then I moved to here, and I moved to here. I am not less because I'm doing something different. Like, these are just different expressions of who I am. And so to give them a solid cornerstone of intrinsic worth so that when they come to the end of their career, they have the choice to stay or to move rather than being shackled. So I think that my own choice.
You just nailed the choice, man. Right. But I mean, that's the whole thing. That's we talk about it all the time. It's the benefit of being a human being is we
Yeah.
get this opportunity to choose whether we take it or not is a kind of a choice in its own right. But a lot of people don't realize they have that choice.
And you get
Right.
another opportunity, right? If you choose poorly, you get another opportunity to choose again. And then
Absolutely.
choose again.
Absolutely.
Choose
Absolutely.
again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, what it boils down to is, what Jeff's talking about is that those that are caught up in they are the performance,
Mhm.
they get like every choice has like these massive consequences. It really hits me like the fixed mindset, growth mindset,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like if you're only about your performance and only about the stats, then that's kind of the fixed mindset a little bit. That's
Yeah.
and it's like, and so you're going to protect yourself. You're gonna and you're gonna put your hands up, and you're gonna be defensive if, oh gosh, something went wrong there. I don't want to learn from it. I want to be safe. You
Right.
know.
High hands, total basketball or boxing. When I
Yeah.
was a kid, I played baseball. I was a pitcher. I could throw a curveball right at your head and go right back over the heart of the plate. It was amazing. And I was a really good hitter too. And one day my buddy was like, how do you hit so well? You're like a buck 25. You're only 5'8". Like this doesn't make any sense to me. And I just never thought about it. For me, it wasn't I wasn't fixated on the performance. So I was being able to stay in the flow state a lot more because I'm just showing up. I'm thinking about other things, not focused on the performance. After he pointed that out to me, I got very fixated on my performance, and my batting started to suffer, and I
Yeah.
wasn't in flow.
Expectations, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And Jeff, I know that you mentioned on your website as well that one of the things that you enjoy doing most are watching your kids go all in on effort.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the
So
best.
in the spirit of
agree.
growth mindset, fixed mindset, what's that look like for you, Jeff?
dude. What's it look like for watching my kids? Can I tell you a
Yeah.
story
So
about that?
please.
Okay, so my sons run cross country, and this most recent season, my oldest is running a race. He's been coming back from a stress fracture in his hip. It's been a rough road, but he's stuck with it. He's been persistent. He stayed in there, and at this last race, he's coming around the corner, and he's doing pretty good the whole race, and then he sees the clock on the last thousand meter, and the clock is ticking up to 19, and he had been 11th the whole race, and in the last like between 3K and 4K he kind of dropped back to 19. So he was clearly slowing down, clearly struggling a little bit, a little tired. Then he sees the clock, and the clock's not yet 19 minutes, and in that moment my son is like, my PR last year was like 1929. My PR this year is like a 1940 something, and that was just last week. I'm sub 19. If I push a little harder, I could come in under 19 minutes. He makes a mindset shift.
Mhm.
That's it. Same body, same everything else. He's like, I'm in. And in that moment, he kicks it into gear. He crosses the finish line at 18:59.4 seconds.
Love it.
And I have to tell you, that makes me so excited because it's how many times do we face stuff and we're like, well, I don't have the right tools, or I'm not equipped, or I don't have the right opportunities, or this and that. It's not all right. We're like, dude, it's up here. You lock in here, and it will go. You will find a way. And that just I can die now.
I love it.
It's great.
I love. Well,
That's awesome.
don't die yet. First,
Yeah.
first we're gonna get into the clues. All right. So we
Yes.
like to end every podcast, Jeff,
Seth
with
Leaves clues.
Josh
Ooh.
and I pointing out what clues we heard. It might not even be clues that you said, Jeff.
Oh.
These are
We might
clues
make them up.
that we
Well,
heard. Yeah. We might add. We use AI, and we might just add those in. We've got your
Clue
image.
me into your clues.
We've got your image and voice now. We can create whatever we want later on.
No.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right,
There it
Josh. I'll go first. First clue.
Okay.
All right. First clue. This is what I heard from Jeff, which I believe everyone heard it as well. Is curiosity, right? Just curiosity. I mean, knowing you now, you have a ton of curiosity, but you're not only a curiosity of others, but a curiosity of yourself. And, for you to be in that radio interview where you had the curiosity to be open for help and to ask for help and then to follow through and get help, and it was a total game changer. But no, so my first clue to success for you is curiosity. What do you got, Josh?
My clue is it's not, you didn't really say it. It's just you embodied it. It's passion, and it's passion for helping others and lifting others up, and then also like the passion for to teach. Right? Like I've had this epiphany. It's changed my life completely. I want to help others have this too. Like it's a caring, giving, thoughtfulness about you. So I think that jumps out there, the passion. And then it's kind of interesting. Like there's a obvious work ethic there, right? I mean, in your early career, it was strangely detrimental to your mental health, right? Here it is. We talk about it all the time that like it's work ethic and having effort is really important, but effort without purpose of like survival, because that was the whole thing. It was purpose of survival. It wasn't purpose of empowerment. It wasn't purpose outside of yourself. It wasn't purpose about others. It was self-focused. That can be detrimental. So the fact that you've taken that work ethic and you put it now towards others is really a success clue.
I love it.
Okay, can I add a clue
Yes, please.
that we
First
didn't really?
time ever, by the way.
Yeah,
This
first
is good.
time. Yeah,
Wait,
The
what?
guest adds, the first time ever that our guest adds a clue. This is good.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, we
Is
didn't
it
really
talk about yourself in the third person only? Is that
Yes.
So what I heard Jeff say, indirectly, because he didn't actually use these words.
I'll
but-
actually, I will be you. So just speak to me. Go.
Okay, so no.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Try. My bad. I tried. I couldn't keep it going.
I,
We don't try. We either do or don't do.
We do or don't do.
Yoda.
I think one of the things that
Yoda.
Travis alluded to, and what Josh really encapsulated, was Travis's persistence. Like that guy just did not stop, and so I think one of the clues for Travis's success is the fact that he didn't give up. He just kept going. And early in his career, we heard Travis talk about his career as an entertainer and juggling and the video production, and it was work. It was a solid work ethic that Josh is talking about. And yet there was significant consequence there. But he learned and refined his work ethic, so it was very robust, very effective. And so then when he shifted his foundation and he got a clear focus, which is what Travis does with his coaching for his clients, is to help people clarify
That's what I've heard.
what true north is. So now he's got something to align to, and that purpose.
To be clear,
is
folks, Travis is Jeff. He's substituting a different name because he didn't want to talk about himself in the third person. I just want to
I
make that
was
clear.
Jeff
Because
the
for like
whole
5
time.
seconds, I was like, what the hell is he talking? What's going on?
Mari's like, how
there
am
it
I going
is.
to edit this? How am I going to edit this
You're not,
clip?
Mari. Just let it roll, kid. Let
I
it roll.
just- but like
Yeah.
everybody says, just work harder, just push harder.
Yep.
And you can be successful there, but there's significant consequence along the way. And I don't think I
Challenger
am
champion.
successful today without that. And that's why I love Earl Nightingale's definition of success: the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It's not about the results, not about showing up. It's about making that progress. And so if we've got that and we're standing on a cornerstone of intrinsic worth, and we've got a clear compass that points to true north in any situation we face, that's our purpose, that's our passion, then all of this work that we've learned to do, now it's focused, we're making progress, and we're achieving results exponentially. And we're not self-sacrificing along.
Say the quote one more time for me.
Earl
Progressive
Nightingale defines success as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Now
Love
say
that.
it again in a Scottish accent.
No, do not. The audience really loves what you just said, and they've written it down.
Let
Let's
him
not-
try.
No,
Josh,
no, but.
we could tap into a whole new audience here.
All right.
I'm going to mime it for you.
Again, people are driving. and they cannot see this. Can you do it in a Scottish accent?
All I can think of is Robert right now, and Robert would not be happy with any of this. So no.
Robert is our Irish friend. Yeah.
He is
our Irish friend.
Do you want to do it in an Irish accent?
Oh yeah. Oh, butcher it. Let's hear it.
Normally I'm a yes and guy, but I feel like this is crossing the line for me. So I'm gonna say yes, and I can also do it in an American accent.
Oh, you nailed it.
So I think I'll stick with my
By the way,
American
Travis,
accent.
thank you for that, because now everybody's forgotten the quote already.
The quote.
They can rewind. They can rewind it, and they can listen again. And
one more time in a Koziatek accent is what?
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What I love about that is it takes the weight off of the results. It allows us to focus on what we can control, what we are doing to move the ball forward. We don't get overwhelmed when things don't go quite the way we want. We're not as fixated on our circumstances. We're not as fixated on things outside of our control. And because of that, we can make more progress in a shorter amount of time. So Earl Nightingale.
Yeah, awesome.
Earl.
I think that's a wonderful note to end on. Before we sign off here, Jeff, I know you reached out to me ahead of time. Is there an offer or something you would like to extend to the Limitless Minds podcast audience?
There is. Blind spots, man. I was stuck for the longest time until I met my coach. And when my coach shined a light on my blind spot, helped me to see intrinsic worth versus extrinsic worth, the shift from performance to performer, it changed everything. I believe in the power of teams and outside perspective. So we created the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle is an online coaching community made for self-starters that are growth-oriented. They want to grow. They want to continue to develop and pursue excellence. And they're goal-oriented. They're not just learning to learn. They're learning to apply. And if those people are not interested in the one-to-one coaching, or they're not ready or whatever, but they are looking for accountability, they're looking for tools, they're looking for support in a community to help hold them accountable and move them forward, the Inner Circle is a phenomenal answer. And for listeners of Limitless Minds, we've got a special link and a special offer. So just click on that, check it out. We'd love to see you inside.
Awesome.
Don't go alone.
And where else can people find you, Jeff?
CoreAuthenticity.com, where they can also buy copies of my book, Blueprint for Value 1 and Blueprint for Value 2. I just happen to have them right here.
Weird. That's weird. Just laying around.
Can you juggle those?
Yes, but just because you can doesn't
mean you should.
You will, or you will.
You don't want to juggle sacred texts. You treat them with reverence.
I know. Like, can you imagine juggling Toros? That'd be amazing. Just juggle.
That's a visual.
If anybody's seen a Torah before, they're like the size of a human being. So anyway.
Josh, Limitless Minds, take us out.
Success Leaves Clues podcast. Thank you, as always, for being with us today. You don't have to be sick to get better.
Peace.